Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nice Shirt Jeff here on the Monkey Caviar Podcast Network. I'm Tiny, your host. With me, as always, the lovely Judi Sunshine. Judy, how are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Somebody told me that you had a hell of a weekend.
Yes. Well, I was trying to think of a joke, but I can't think of one offhand. I got married on Sunday.
Yay, she got married. Guys, she's off the market. It breaks my heart, too. But she got herself a good man, and congratulations to you and Josh. Best of long-term love for both of you.
Thank you. And that nice guys don't finish last and all that jazz. And
right, he's a good guy, got a good girl. I'm happy with that. So if it can't be me.
An asshole.
If it can't be me, it might as well be him.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. We've spent so much time together. Let's get to this episode that was called Your Job is Recon. Should have been called Dumbass Island. I thought that was a much better line.
Yeah, I think so too.
They come back from tribal council after voting off Mari, that's right.
Which I'm still sad about because I liked Mari.
Yeah, they come back from tribal after the Mari vote, and Adam calls out Taylor and Piggy. Did you like that he blamed them right off the bat as soon as everybody got back?
He's still my favorite. I have to say.
He's growing on me.
Yeah. I don't know. Other people are like David's growing on me a lot. But Adam was sort of my favorite from the beginning. He's the one I picked to win, even when I was like, I'm not sure, I don't know, and giving you blank dead air. I still believe in him. I think he's really good. He's smart.
I need him and Zeke. I need him and Zeke to turn that tribe around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. He did some work in this episode, and we'll get to that in a minute. Mm-hmm. But the most glaring bit at the beginning was of this horrible Hannah play.
I knew that's what you were going to say. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. So Zeke and Adam, right? Zeke and Adam are having a little hard time after the vote because they got blindsided.
And they were so cool about it.
Why would she not give them a moment of space? It was so ridiculous.
I really did. You know why? I think because they're her people. And that's why she kept saying, like, oh, fine, I'm the worst person in the world. And obviously they weren't saying that. And they kept saying that. And I just wanted to just make her stop and make her go away. But I really relate to acting like that as a woman when I was her age, especially. I still do it. God.
Playing the victim?
But not the playing the victim, which I do believe she wasn't trying to do. I think it was more that she
sat there and cried. She sat there and said, it would have been 6-4 if I didn't vote with them, which means I threw my alliance away and went 7-3. So you guys look stupid. So
and on a strategic point of view, I'm 100% with you, but emotionally, I felt bad for everyone. That, like, all three of them, but I was like, shut up, Hannah, please shut up.
She's not a strong player, obviously, because she got flipped right there at tribal by Michelle. So yeah. I don't dig the playing the victim. I think she should have walked away, given him a minute, a couple hours later, and said, hey, are you cool now? Let it go till morning. There's plenty of time. So
I know. I agree. I completely agree. Don't get me wrong. I just felt bad for her. Like, I felt for her, even though I did judge her. Trying to figure out.
How do you feel bad for her? How can you feel bad for her when she did it? I mean, she flipped on him. Oh, see, you dropped out on me.
Sorry,
you don't even know. It's okay. It happens. So what I said was.
That doesn't work. I tried putting in the earbuds. Didn't work. Sorry.
All right, forget them. Throw them away. I don't know how you can defend her. It's bad gameplay. She's not making her own decisions.
Oh, I'm not defending her gameplay. I'm just defending her as a person.
All right, you're allowed to defend it as a person and not their game. That's acceptable.
Just as a Gen Xer, technically, and she is a younger woman, and I'm just like, aw. I have a soft spot for my girl.
You can have a soft. I have no soft spot. I firmly agreed with Zeke. I was like, oh my God, if this bitch would just get away from me for 5 minutes.
I know.
And because if it was me, I'd have kicked her in the face. I would have. I've been just like, leave me alone, or I'm going to say a bunch of things that you really don't want to hear right now. And
he corrected himself. I heard he went like, will you just give me some space? And I'm like, ooh, good play, Zach. He almost said shut up, and he didn't.
Zeke.
Yes, your guy.
Not Zach. I do. I love him. I'm a big fan. Do you think that Adam and Zeke can get back to the top of Millennials?
Yes, because they're really smart. I think they might be the best players. Well, you know how I feel about Adam. I know you love Zeke, and so I've been paying even more attention to Zeke because you like him. And he's good. I like them as a pair. I would love to see them go to the end together.
I'm telling you, Michaela's going to be the linchpin of everything that happens with her. She's really good. Yeah, those three get together, and it can be rough riding for a lot of people.
She's really smart she listens. Everyone else is talking, she's listening, and she's encouraging them to listen, not to talk when they went to that summit meeting.
Yeah, and when he comes up, and Adam comes up later, we'll talk about it, but he comes up with a plan, and she didn't just immediately go, no, I'm not doing that. I'm with my alliance. She was like, no, that's a hell of a plan. You're right. So kudos to her. I'm starting to come around on her as well. I really, that you can call me the worst person ever crap. Oh my God, I hate that.
Me too.
I never said anything about worst person. Why are you trying to put the words in my mouth? If you think you're the worst person ever for flipping on me, that's on you. Like I said it to you. So Hannah can go spit as far as I care. She's kind of dead to me now.
Okay. I think you should still give her a chance. We'll see.
It's episode 3, so she's got a little more time. But right now, I can never see myself going, yeah, I would vote Hannah to win.
Fair enough.
That's just me.
No, I don't think she could win at this point either.
So after that, they went over to the Gen X tribe. We got our first look over there. And Paul tries to do some fishing and fails. And is it more important to make an effort or to not fail in Survivor? What do you think?
You're breaking up. I'm sorry.
All right. Does Paul get more points for trying to fish and not getting any? Or does he get no points because he failed?
Oh, definitely points for trying. And I didn't see him as bragging so much about it. If he was bragging and not catching anything, I think you should just never brag about your skills on Survivor, whether it be puzzles or Kelly in season 1 with her river rafting skills. It always comes back to bite you in the ass. Because I would not put it past the producers to particularly mess with people if they know they have a certain point of braggadocio.
You've been watching too much Unreal when you start blaming production for everything.
Maybe. No, I've always been blaming them ever since I think Russell Hantz. I'm like, I don't know.
I think this fishing bit reminded me a little bit, oddly, of Redemption Island when Rupert catches a bunch of fish and then Rob jumps in the water and brings back like a slew of 18 fish. And he's like, it's a Hawaiian sling. Anybody can do this. Rupert feels small. I feel like Ken did the same thing here by going out and actually catching a fish. He kind of made Paul a little less than what he was. Did you agree? Are you gone? You seem to be frozen. Hey, there you are. You're back.
They signed me out. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, hi. That's okay. You're back.
Thank you. Let's blame the site tonight.
Hey, there's a lot of craziness going on. Now I have 2 pictures of you at the bottom of my screen, so I get double the Judi.
Oh, okay.
Excellent for me. What I was asking was, it reminded me that the little fishing episode reminded me a little bit of Redemption Island with Rupert and Boston Rob. When Rupert tries to catch a bunch of fish, and then he does, but Boston Rob jumps in and is like, it's a Hawaiian sling. Anybody can do this.
Yes.
And it just kind of made Rupert feel small.
Didn't someone steal the Hawaiian sling in Pearl Islands? Or
Rupert stole a bunch of shit in Pearl Islands. I don't know, but that particular one was Redemption.
Okay, yes.
Or Heroes Villains.
Maybe Heroes.
All Stars. It was All Stars,
no,
actually.
All Stars. Yes.
Yeah, it was All Stars.
Yes. Okay. Third time's the charm, I'm guessing.
Yeah, sometimes you got to guess. Is Ken really the mastermind of the Gen X tribe? Is it David? Is it Ken? Who's pulling the strings over there, do you think, now that they got rid of Paul?
As I really kind of want to say Dave. Even though I don't think anyone's pulling the strings now that Paul was voted out. Otherwise, I might have had to say Chris or Brett.
Brett, yeah. I would think right now, I give a lot of points to David and Ken, obviously. But I think Jessica moving with the girls and getting the girls to flip, that was a pretty good move on her part. I never thought Sunday would flip on those men. Never.
I don't think so either. And I wrote down something about, I don't know. I think I have it in a different order based on that in my notes. Because I had something to say about all that. Because you asked about Ken. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me get back.
Okay, let's go this way. All right, let's go to the tribal summit.
Yes.
They drew out of the bags a random chance, 4 people from each tribe. Do you like the random draw, or do you think they should have forced the tribes to choose 4 people?
I actually did really like it because I think sometimes like that can be a little too strategic, or it can, I don't know. I thought the randomness was actually helpful and good in this case.
Did you think it was going to be a swap?
Did I think there was going to be a swap based on the previews? You mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once that bit started, didn't you feel that maybe the 4 of them would all switch sides?
It occurred to me, but I was really hoping no, because I felt like it was too soon. The tribes are still both so big, and I feel that I love that they did 2 tribes this season, even though I would have liked to have seen Boomers as a 3rd. I do like 2 tribes just in terms of the game itself better than 3. So I didn't want them to swap yet. I thought it could be a possibility, but I thought that more from, I think, the previews than the actual episode itself once they got there.
Yeah, I think we're 1 episode away next week, and then we'll get a swap. Episode 5. How can you hate swaps? They changed the game.
I know.
I hate static. Oh, so
I do.
Let me put it this way. The Australian Survivor season that's going on currently, there is 1 tribe that won 10 challenges in a row. 10 straight challenges. And they let them cherry pick the best players from the other team. They were massive. It was 9-3 at the merge. And it's boring.
I agree.
I don't want to see a massive tribe knock out a little tribe. It just bores me. So at least this, if they swap them in 2 episodes, we'll have 2 tribes of 8, which is, you could possibly put ties on the table, which is great TV. We love ties. Ties mean rocks and fucking wildness and all that. So yeah, I want to swap in 2 episodes.
Okay, maybe 2 episodes. I guess I don't really like them unless it's obvious that one tribe itself is getting decimated. But even then, that can make for good TV because I loved Palau.
A pagonging sucks. Nobody likes it.
Pagonging does suck, but I thought there was something about oolong or that.
Well, I like that either tribe can win this. According to challenge was in the preview. It's wrestling in the water for rings. Apparently, I think this is a challenge that Gen X can win. So the women on Generation X are stronger than the women on Millennials are stronger.
Yeah, probably.
I think we might Millennials to tribal. If we do, that's 2 tribals for each tribe. Both tribes would be down to 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping for that. And I really want to break up those pretty people. I really do. I hate them.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the 4 people that went for to the summit for Generation X would have been the same had the tribe chosen. I don't think David would have got the opportunity to be there. I don't think Cece would have been there. I think you would have saw Chris. I think you would have saw Paul. You probably would have saw Brett and maybe Sunday. They might have sent one woman along, but that guy has that Paul guy. He's got some issues with women, and that never works out well in Survivor.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was just me thinking that. Obviously, people in his tribe did, but hearing it like from another guy is always kind of objective.
Oh yeah, he's got problems with women. Who do you think benefited the most from the summit? Which player individually?
I think just the millennials in general, because I was very disappointed actually in Cece and Dave. I like both of them, and I was really happy that they turned it around on their own island, but I think what they said could bite them in the ass because they should have known better. They're supposed to be the old, wise tribe. They should have been listening a bit more and doing less talking. I thought that Taylor and Figgy actually were way more strategic in their talk to them. Like, Figgy's like, oh, you know, it's just chill. And they're really trying to let them believe that they're just being like Pagong and just playing as the young, pretty tribe while Gen X is all serious and strategic. You know, I think they really maybe kind of threw them off their game and got them a little cocky so that they were like, why were they jumping ship so soon? What if the tribe swap means that the people they sold out ended up with Taylor and Figgy, and they were like, oh yeah, they were talking shit about you and blah, blah, blah. Or what if they need them when they merge, if they merge, and they are trying to do Gen X versus millennials, and then Taylor and Figgy can be like, oh, well, they gave us this information and that information. I just thought they talked way too much at Summit.
Yeah, I thought the big winner of the whole thing was Taylor. He comes out of there with David, you know, saying, hey, look, I'll vote my tribe out. I'll be loyal to you if there's a merge or a swap. So that's great for Taylor. Of course you say yes. If anybody comes up to you and says you want to work together, you say yes. That's always how Survivor works. Yes is the correct answer.
That's one of the rules. There are still rules.
The BR rules. But they didn't give up the showmance with Taylor and Figgy. They said everything was just chill and nothing was going on. They found out that Paul was the de facto leader of the Gen X. And when they show up at the next reward, they're going to and know that David and Cece flipped the tribe.
Yes.
So Taylor has all this information. David's possible strong. He wants to align with me, so absolutely I'm going to take him. We'll knock out more. And that's sadly where the position David put himself in.
You know, I'm so sorry to break the fourth wall, but you're breaking up a lot, and I'm having so much trouble because I'm so down with listening to you.
All right. That's okay. We're okay.
Something I can do?
No.
Okay.
It's just the site, and we'll try to muddle through.
Okay, but bear it in mind. So I'm not ignoring you or...
Gotcha.
Okay.
I think Chris and Paul failed at the summit. Epically failed.
By going away?
By going in the water, and they didn't build anything with those people.
No.
You know, there nothing at all. So I think they just blew it.
They were too cocky, those guys. That's, you know, spoiler, but that's why they lost in the end. They were just too cocky.
I don't necessarily think Will needs his dad out there to tell him, you know, I'm your dad. It's not what he's out there for, or any of them. So this whole Gen X thinking that they need their parent around is kind of bullshit. And I wish they wouldn't put words in my generation's mouth.
Yeah. Although Michaela did say, well, no, I don't want to jump ahead.
Go ahead. You can jump ahead a little bit. Go ahead. Okay.
Well, she said after the immunity challenge and when they wouldn't, you know, let them have the fishing gear. And she was just like, if it was our parents, they would have let us have it. But they're not our parents.
Not our parents, and they want you to starve.
Yeah.
All right. So when Paul comes back to the beach, he makes the mistake of telling the ladies that if the boys want to try to be a man alliance, well, ladies, you're on your own. Oh my God, it's the worst how stupid he deserved to go home after that.
And I don't even know if he meant it that way. I don't know what he was thinking. Because he was trying. I thought he had it. He was just like, no, blah, blah, blah. And I liked what Chris said later, but it was too late at Tribal Council about how it's too soon. Because in a way, that was his best argument, was that it's too soon to flip on your alliance. That's like one of the Reality News Online original rules was like, you know, scheme and plot, but don't scheme and plot too soon. And everybody like flips too soon, and that could be such a fatal mistake. If he hadn't said that thing, I think Cece would have gone home last night. The six would have stayed.
They could have, but all he had to do was when they said, you know, you're not doing a boy thing.
No,
he has to say, of course not. If something like that was going to go down, of course I would tell you, ladies.
Yes.
Not I'd tell you good luck and goodbye. Yes. I would tell you all about it, and we would be tight.
And he was so close to saying just that. He was so close to having them be fine.
He missed 2 words in a sentence, and he went home. And that's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
So after that little bit over there on Gen X, they go back to Millennials, and Adam pitches Michaela about getting out the pretty people. Did you like his decision to pitch her that idea?
Yeah. Okay. I had a note about him, and I couldn't read my handwriting. I said, Adam still seems smartest. I did.
He does. He's coming out of this looking like the brain behind it all.
I think that people should maybe think twice about choosing their words when they talk about the pretty people or the cool people. Because I think sometimes that could be offensive. I even thought that when Hannah said that to Mari couple, like maybe in the first episode, it's like, well, but Mari, don't tell people they're not pretty in your approach. I think it's like, you know what I mean? Even if you want to call them like just refer to them as like them or like that alliance or, you know, like those guys. But to be like, well, you're not pretty, I feel like is a little bit offensive regardless.
Yeah, I understand. On this new season of Big Brother they're doing right now, there's 4 girls that are working together, and the chat room started calling them the plastics.
I like that. Yes.
Right? A great name. And now all of a sudden, amazingly, the girls are now calling themselves the plastics. Because we know production gets in their ear and goes, chat room's calling you the plastics. You should call yourself the plastics.
Right. And it's a Mean Girls reference.
Mean Girls reference, right, fully. And they are mean girls, and they're not going to win, but that's a whole different show, and we don't need to talk about that. Do you think that Adam chose his timing well with Hannah sitting right next to Michaela when he pitched the big, we got to turn on the pretty people?
I'm not remembering that scene specifically.
Right. Hannah is sitting right next to Michaela.
Okay.
And she doesn't say a word, but she is right there listening to the whole pitch. And I think he did it on purpose, and his timing was impeccable.
Okay.
Because this is after all the, you know, he doesn't want to talk to you right now. Just go away. We'll talk later. Here is a chance to talk later. This is when she should have talked.
Yeah.
And she just sat there. So I think them doing that, what does it say here? Yeah, if they can swing all them, they have a 4-man alliance. If they can get Will, they've got the power. And if not, I think Hannah is a pancake and the flipper has to go.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she won't be too swingy a vote, you know, a la Christy in Amazon, where it's just like, well, maybe I'll be with you or maybe I'll be with you. It's like, okay, she flipped once, but I think in this era of Survivor, you can get away with the flip she made when she did. Even Adam and Zeke weren't like, you're dead to us now. They were just like, leave us the hell alone and stop bothering us for now. But I think they're still willing to work with her. I don't think she'll win, like you said, but I also don't think she's gone yet.
No, I don't think so, but she could very well be the next up on the block if something over there happens. Surprised if she at least catches some votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To go to the challenge.
The challenge, yes.
All right, the challenge. Here's the thing. Do you think everyone should have had to complete the balance beam portion with their own bag.
No.
You don't think so? Because I certainly do.
You do. That's because you're Gen X. You know, Gen X works hard.
No, I'm saying that if Cece has trouble getting over the balance beam and takes her time and gets over it, that's great.
It is great.
But Will was having problems. Just dropped his bag, and Taylor took it. So now if they have to wait for Will to get across, maybe Gen X catches up a little more.
But
everybody has to do the same thing. What?
But they still all had to get over the balance beam.
Yeah, but they all didn't do it carrying 40 pounds of gear.
Right. That's one thing.
I think.
Sorry.
If one person has to carry it, I think everybody should have had to carry it, and that's just the way I think it should have been. It's not we work harder to get things done. I'm saying what Gen X did to me was the smartest way, or what Millennials did was way smarter. Having your fastest guy, it was when Boston Rob on the planks running across, getting the flags. Same situation.
That
Everybody
was
drops.
Challenges ever though, so that's what I was totally thinking of. That and the sandbags in Palau. Yeah,
I get it, but I still think it levels the playing field a little more if you make everybody compete on portion of the challenge.
Yeah, I guess, but I feel like
I could be wrong.
If they were allowed to skip the whole balance beam, I'd be more with you. But since they had to at least get across the balance beam, I'm okay with it.
Okay, but I just think there's a big difference.
On certain things, like that's part of being a fan of the game. It's like makes it more interesting.
Yeah. I just don't think that. I think that if I don't know, Figgy had to deal with the 40-pound bag, it might have slowed her down like it did Cece, and Cece's pride got the better of her. But maybe I don't know that she understood that she could drop the bag and let somebody else do the bag.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, it didn't appear that she knew that. So,
but sometimes that's like one of my things with having wanted to go on the show in the past. Is part of it is that I'm really it takes me a while to sort of understand instructions, and I always worried that they'd be like, "You do this, and then you do that, and you do that, and blah blah blah, blah and then go." And I'd be like, "I still don't understand." But apparently, they really do explain all the rules of the challenge. And that if anybody has any questions, they really do go through that, and that all happens off camera.
Yeah, that's interesting that I'm going to go back to this stupid Big Brother thing that's going on right now, but it's not really stupid. What it is it's 24/7. You can watch what's going on in the house. And when production gets involved, you see production there. To me, who's such a huge fan of reality, this is like a look behind the scenes at Big Brother. And like I watched a comp, the HOH comp last night, took 3.5 hours. And normally I would get a 10-minute version of it on the show.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Watch the whole thing, and I was just like a kid. It's boring as shit. But but you have to be a super fan to really get into it. And I would love if they did live feed cameras in Survivor. Don't do Survivor live, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
On Survivor though,
I don't like change though.
I would take my money, CBS. I would give it to them.
Fair enough. Maybe as bonus footage.
All right. So after the challenge, the Millennials win. It was never close.
No,
it just looked bad. And they go ahead.
It wasn't close. It was never close. But I thought that they really gave it their all in the end, and they made it at least good television slightly. And I felt bad for Dave and who was the other one doing
Dave and Sunday were on the puzzle.
Okay. I thought they were doing their best, and I really thought they even maybe had a chance, especially at first. when it's like the millennials, like I would have loved to have done that part of the puzzle. A lot of times with challenges, I'm like, God, I'm so glad. I would never want to do that. I would never want to do that. Even puzzles, a lot of times it's those shifting puzzles you get in like friendlies, and I can't do those. But a puzzle like that with words, I just would have been like, oh my God, I could own this part. And then to not even get the chance like Dave and Sunday didn't, that would have been really tough.
It was also a really easy puzzle in that you kind of, if you were paying attention, could find where your pieces fell. Like if a row fell straight back, all you had to do was grab those 5 pieces, restack them, and stand them back up.
Yes, that's a good point.
So it was an easier puzzle in that I wish they would have had to knock those over, and then grab the bags of new pieces and do a new puzzle. Because they had coconuts and sandbags in there. You could have had puzzle pieces and sandbags just as easily.
Right.
And then a second puzzle would have, knocked these down and then do a puzzle. But whatever. It was Millennials' challenge to win from the go, and they did. And then they tried to make this. Then they tried to make this deal. And on Survivor, it's happened a few times where tribes have talked to Jeff and tried to get something or exchange something, or they think there's a fucking return policy on Survivor. You can't use your tarp as currency. It just doesn't work. They try to get fishing gear for their comfort items. And I love that Jeff lets the decision fall on the other tribe.
Mm-hmm.
A great choice, because he goes to them and says, do you want them to eat? And they're like, let me think. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Let them starve. And I love that Ken goes, well, I'm having a great time catching all these fish that are feeding my tribe, so I didn't keep the chairs. Whatever. Enjoy your hammock.
I like Ken.
I do like Ken. Ken is
too.
I think Ken is a little quiet, and he's a little reserved. He's not a big character. So he might last till the merge, but once the merge hits, he's going to be a physical threat and a boot. He's not going to last long after the merge, I don't think.
I like that Cece was nice about what she said, though, about like he's the humblest person you'll ever meet, and I thought that was
Don't call him a Ken doll. Apparently, he hates
which
that shit.
offended him.
Well, I get it. I grew up with a name that wasn't exactly great for a kid growing up in Southern California. My parents called me Mickey growing up. And when you live in Anaheim, you catch a lot of mouse shit for that.
Yeah, I hear that.
I get that he caught a lot of Ken doll shit for that. And I get it. I get where he comes from. And it took me until like junior high to become Mike. And then I was like, no, I'm done with that. And now I wish I would have stayed with Nikki because it's way cooler than me. But, as a kid, what are you going to do?
They're both good names.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm fine with who I am. Yeah.
I thought it was, isn't he the one who had the speech impediment growing up, though? Didn't he stutter?
Excuse me. Yeah, that's what they said earlier.
Because it gives me 2 things about him. He pronounces certain words wrong.
All right.
But they're good words. And it leads me to believe that he read a shit ton growing up.
Yeah, I think he's trying to
smart. And he knows all the words. He just maybe didn't feel confident saying all of them growing up and things.
Yeah. I also had a stutter as a child. So me and Ken are getting along great. I can really identify with him in a lot of ways, except
that's awesome.
I'm not model handsome now, but when you have a stutter, you think a lot longer on how you speak and what you say.
Yes.
And you see, when I try to rush or get a thought out, I still do it. And I don't consider it I have a stutter anymore, but it's certainly there. I just don't get caught up on, S's and T's as much as I did when I was a kid.
Sure.
So I understand Ken, and I understand where he's coming from. I think he's a great guy. He's just not a big character. And that's not going to play well once the merch hits, because it's going to look like it kind of comes off as like quiet determination.
Mm-hmm.
He's not real outgoing. He's kind of reserved, but he's great in challenges so far. He does everything for the tribe. He does all their fishing.
Yeah.
So,
a lot
Ken,
of
they're going to keep Ken for a while.
or if it could depend on who makes it over from Millennials, like who ends up coming out on top. And that's one reason I don't necessarily want to swap so soon. 2 episodes from now, okay. Next episode, no. I would like to still see them, as long as nobody's getting pagonged or decimated in any way. I would like to see it kind of come out as a classic Survivor season. Since they bothered starting with 2 tribes, I feel like they have the potential to do it kind of like a classic season, more than a lot have been.
I understand, and if it continues to go back and forth with trips to tribal, can. I think maybe, I don't know if production has it in place where they can go, all right, look, things are still even. Let's keep it this way, or we have this swap plan for here. I would assume that they have it planned. I would assume that they have a schedule for when there's going to be a swap, when there's going to be a merge, and they're going to stick to that no matter what. That's what I like to think, but I also I watch Unreal. I'm not going to lie. I know shit can shit in a minute. So, Rachel and Quinn can fuck up a game, and it can happen.
I just want to picture Quinn being behind the scenes.
I have a long-standing dream of Quinn and Jeff having a conversation.
Oh my gosh, it could happen,
Well, because Jeff's a producer on the show now as well, so he's been a producer on the show for a long time. So that's really Jeff's show. I mean, he's very invested in it, and he takes it seriously. I've heard that he's run into people at like Starbucks and just sat down at their table and talked about Survivor for an hour.
That's cool. That is
fucking cool. Yeah, go Jeff.
Yeah.
He's and now I have a something to base it on, because there's this guy in Australia who's doing the same thing.
I have to watch this in Australia so I can.
Oh, it's great because he's using the same phrasing. It's "come on in, guys." It's everything is the same. It's Jeff. It's just Jeff and he's Jonathan, so it's just Jeff with an Australian accent, but he's way more. He's diggy. He digs into them at tribal, and he's like, he wants names, and he wants you to put people on the spot.
Even more than Jeff?
Yeah, and he's blowing people's games up. The host is blowing people's games up, and Jeff doesn't do that.
Interesting.
Jeff will try to get information out of you, but if you resist, Jeff moves on.
Right.
Which is the name. That's why I named this podcast "Nice Shirt Jeff," because if Jeff talked to me at tribal, that's all you have to say. Nice shirt, Jeff.
Did somebody say that, or that's
no? I just think that if I was on Survivor, every time I saw him, my only thing I'd say to him would be, "Nice shirt, Jeff."
That's awesome.
Because that's all you have to say. You get into tribal, he starts picking on you. You go, "Nice shirt." That's it. He'll move on to somebody else. It'll give him better TV. And it'll look like horrible TV, but America will be totally behind it.
Definitely.
As long as you can explain it, like, hey, I wasn't giving up my strategy. No. So Nice Shirt Jeff is my strategy. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Everything else I do is for me and the people in my alliance. And if you go into tribal and start blowing shit up, that's what happens to people like Paul.
Yes.
You go home. Home, and your 2 buddies are sitting there looking at each other like they're idiots, because Chris and Brett were stunned.
They were the Adam and Zeke of I like the bookends of the stunned brothers on each, in terms of people turning on them.
Yeah, it was great. So my last bit here is with the competition going for rings and in the water and wrestling, which tribal do you like to go to tribal, or which tribe do you like to go to tribal council next week, and who do you think's going home?
I think it will be the Millennials again, because I really think they're going to try to keep it even as much as they can, and I think that no, you tell me first, so I don't get dead air. I did think about it, but now I'm having doubts because you make me rethink about certain things.
I do like Gen X to win because of just physicality. They got Lucy, who's resting bitch face.
Sorry.
She
said, calm down, and then she said, shh.
She's people. I know. I have a note that says the first glimpse of Lucy being a true bitch.
Besides
and that's how they have her set up with the next Dawn is Lucy turns into a bitch. She's never smiled. I don't. She hasn't talked, but one time. For Lucy, she could go home. I don't care. So if Gen X goes to tribal, I want Lucy gone. If the Millennials go, which I think they will, Piggy. I think it's going to be Piggy. Yeah. I think they're going to get it done and get Piggy out before the swap. Though I think they should get Taylor out before the swap instead of Piggy, but they will try to keep their strength, especially after this challenge, because they're going to get manhandled. Brett and Chris are men. They are going to manhandle those guys. And Ken's no slouch. David's going to get brutalized, but whatever. You're going to let that one go. So, yeah, I do think the Millennials will go, and I do think that Michaela, Adam, and Zeke will band around with Hannah and
I do too.
Whoever else is over there's one more person.
Will. Yes, Will. It's kind of I feel like that we keep forgetting about Will is kind of a good sign for him. Like
I like Will. I love his deep he's got a superhero villain voice.
I know, and he's only a
baby. He's just a kid, and go Will. Yeah, I'll be okay with him. Like I said, him, Zeke, Michaela, I'm okay with right now.
And Michaela has flat out said, I don't like Figgy. And that doesn't mean she won't work with Figgy, but I think that she could be more easily maybe persuaded to get rid of. I don't think Taylor, I think without Figgy, he's such a kind of guy because he's so happy to just have his girl Figs with him. And it's like, okay, but you're playing a game. I think left without her, he might rise to the occasion and start becoming more interesting and shine a little bit more, but still be a good enough shield if they were to merge that those guys would be like, they'll vote out Taylor as the bro unless he aligns with them. But I don't really see Taylor aligning with Gen X. I feel like they could talk him back into trusting them and then vote him out.
Yeah, I think Jay has the best positioning on Millennials right now because he's got Taylor as a big meat shield in front of him and a showman's, which you got to break that up.
Yes.
He's said in confessionals that he understands that this is a bad move for Taylor and he needs to really, stop the showmancing. Yes. So I think he'd be willing to move over with the Gen X if it came down to it. I don't think he would do it. I think he would be a reluctant at first, but he would come around and he'd swap. So I think he's really strong. I think Dave and Ken are strong, and Michaela and Zeke. So those 5 are probably my top 5 right now. Adam, Zeke, Michaela, Ken, and Dave.
Yeah, I like those picks.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Good. Then we can end on a good note. We're going to end on agreement. How's that?
Oh, okay. I just started charging the computer again because that's why I was walking because it got to 16%. But now.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
See, this was even longer than last week. We did 45 minutes.
I know. That's what you said.
All right, everybody. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Next week, we'll be back on Thursday evening at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, come on.
Again, congratulations on getting married this weekend. I hope you guys have a wonderful life and a great week while you're off work.
Thanks. He goes back tomorrow.
He goes back tomorrow. Well, extend my best wishes to him as well.
I will.
And until next week, love many, trust few, and do harm to no one. Have a good night.